Fade in.
What?
There it is. And reset. And we're good.
And we're good.
We did it. That transition still isn't working, but it's okay. We're here in general.
Are you kidding me? That was a seamless transition. Nobody noticed anything. It was totally seamless.
I'm just stoked that the stream is going and it's not crashed yet. That's a huge step one. Hi, everybody.
We haven't changed the scene title.
Still says tiers list. Oh. It says tier list now.
Yeah.
It's not tier list, everybody.
We could have a tier list. What's your favorite type of drink?
Diet Coke.
After that?
End of list.
You drink water?
That's what I think about it.
You drink water way more than I do. People are like, you're supposed to drink 13 gallons of water a day. And I'm like...
You're supposed to drown in water every single day.
Louise, I don't know. It's so overwhelming that I don't even start.
Yeah.
Then I'm just like, I'm not going to drink any water because I'm never going to get there.
I don't know how much water I drink in a day. I try to just drink water when I'm at my job because I have like a big bottle. Like it was one of those like big like Zephyr Hill bottles. Right. And I just refill that constantly. Yeah. But I refill it like twice a week. So it's like...
Yeah.
I drink water, but maybe not enough.
Yeah, my dad, those like giant thermoses.
Yeah.
Like the gallon ones.
Yeah.
Dad would fill that up with coffee every day to take us to school. I mean, he had 6 kids. So to be fair, I would also need that much coffee. Because boy howdy, that's a lot of kids.
That's so much.
They were changing diapers for 13 years. Straight.
A nightmare.
That sounds horrible. I'm
just working at a daycare at that point.
But you know what's really good is that they got a snip-snap all out of the way, and now they have a ton of kids to hang out with all the time.
They're never bored now.
They're never bored. They're like, we don't even like this kid anymore. We're going someplace else. And they have 5 other options.
And they can go most places in the United States, and they'll bump into a kid.
They'll bump into someone somewhere. It'll be fine.
I'm still looking at this pile of cards and going, I still need to cut 50 things. Heck, that's,
what cards?
This is Magic the Gathering.
When
you build When you build a commander deck, you need 100 cards. And some people, which I guess Link does, I know Colby does, which is they just add every card they think would be good, so then they have a total of like 300 cards. And they go, I need to cut 200 of these. And I don't do that. So
you're not actually cutting any cards?
No. Well, he's cutting from his dream of what could be, because I don't do that. I build it, and I build 100, then I stop, and I see what I need to cut that way. Otherwise, you have to kill your darlings the entire time, and it hurts, and it sucks.
Yeah. So you're sacrificing tonight. I don't know if it's going to be tonight, though, but, 300 sounds like a lot, though.
It's a lot.
How many are in the regular deck?
It's supposed to be 100. I was saying 300 to be dramatic, but some people, when I look at people's decks online, just random people's, they'll be in the 200s, and I'm like, you don't have a functioning deck. What do you mean you have this many cards?
Well, I guess we should going through the whole pile. You draw one and put one. I've honestly never seen the game. Because I am morally opposed to this game. On principle. I don't even know what the game is.
It's not even a bad game.
I'm like, look, guys. Corey convinced everyone in the company to do the whip thing. And so now, I'm standing strong. I
taught everybody in the company how to whip, and 10 years after the whip and Nene was gone, we haven't even broached the Nene yet.
Yeah, it's coming though, I can feel it. And so I thought I'd stand strong now before we go too deep.
Before we start Nene.
Yes. It's a real threat. You guys don't think it's a real threat? It absolutely is. It's a real problem. This man's a real problem.
I don't know. I think we talked about it on stream at some point. It's come up a lot recently, but I do just really push whatever I like onto people, and then they start also liking it.
Well, and you've got very, very suggestible friends. All of your friends are like, it's a good thing you're not a druggie. Because, boy, howdy, all of your friends.
I'd be an amazing dealer.
Incredible. You literally would be incredible. Keep this in mind if you ever want to switch jobs.
My dad's a salesman, so I inherited that, but just for Godzilla and the gorillas. Yep. nothing else.
Clearly.
Looks like I'm mowing Corey next chance I get. Joke's on you, I'm never a player, baby. I do Magic the Gathering and I run a show. Good luck.
So we should have woe and magic. Where take out 5 cards of your deck and throw them away.
That's what we've been, because something big. Tapped Out is coming back soon, and what we've been trying to figure out is how to tip incentives and stuff like that. This is inside baseball, so congrats. But because before we did have like a deck that was just separate, that if somebody paid like $5 or whatever, we could all draw from it. But it breaks the game, and it's very hard to balance the game and make it fun constantly. So I don't know, maybe.
I don't know what else, but it's kind of difficult in a competitive game to have things that change the game.
Right.
I feel like they could be something like that affect you as a player.
Yeah. The best I've seen is the streamer Dr. Lupo. He did a charity stream, and he did Commander, which is the 4-player one that we do. And but what they did is they had people constantly donating money, and it was like raising, I think, to fight charity. Take it. We're fine. We don't need it. It was to fight cancer. So it was like people would donate like $1,000, and then it would be like everybody discards their hand and then draws 3 cards or something like that. So it was like big incentives, but like you also were watching Matthew Mercer play and all these like big names and stuff. Right. It's interesting to kind of figure out.
I was kind of thinking more along the lines of less game affecting and more player affecting, as in go put on a jacket. And then you have to put on like 17 jackets by the end of it, and this person's like marshmallowing out here trying to like reach their card.
We have several pies around the room.
Yeah, we have an
ready to launch.
That's what I'm saying.
Our show, Tap quickly becomes the most expensive show we have to produce.
Right. Well, we have an entire costume button, so it's like add a piece of costume, and then by the end of it, you're like decked out. And
your deck is empty. Your sweaters are on. You are sweaty.
Right, you're sweaty.
We have created the sweatiest show also.
Right.
That's funny. To affect the players while doing it.
Yes.
That is funny.
We don't need to affect the game. I don't know what I was thinking about the other day. It was something along the lines of having more things affect the players themselves instead of the game.
Characters.
Oh yeah, it was mine. So Arcadis is doing like a ton of work making these like UGT hero points that are like
to control the studio thermostat.
Oh my god, that is mean. That's really mean.
That's really good though.
Yeah, so he's making all these like hero points that are like do the cool thing, and I was like, we should have just flip we should also have minor misfortune points that you give to the players, and it's like
sit with the chair.
It's like chug your drink, but like things that would affect the player and not the actual characters.
You
can't use your dominant hand. Like exactly that. You like no longer are able to say a certain word.
No chair for 10 minutes.
Yeah, like you have to squat.
I like the idea of Colby standing for 10 minutes. You just do like this and down on him.
You better wear pants that day, guys, because this is important.
This is how we implement our new required pants rule.
Yes, it's very exciting. Anyway, like exactly, you can't use you. I like your use it. You can't use your dominant hand.
Can't use dominant hand is good, especially for people like Sully who take notes.
You can't blink. Good
can't blink. Oh, they're painting and painful. Scream at the top of your lungs for 10 seconds straight.
Exactly. Just leave. We have
$200. You leave and you're not in the game anymore. See you guys next week. Must speak in uwu.
Yeah, exactly. You can sit there. It's corner back there. You can't tell how far away it is, but it's actually pretty far. If we could just have somewhere sit in a little tiny chair back there, and you can just barely see them when people turn.
They're just Blair Witch in the corner, just stand and face the corner ominously.
Yes, that would be, I'm just saying. I feel like it would be pretty fun.
I do wish that sometime we could figure out how to get a camera outside so we could sit like on the patio outside, just to be like more casual.
Right.
But.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
This doesn't feel casual enough to you?
No.
I feel pretty formal.
I feel like we're at a desk. I feel like I should be giving the news.
What is the news?
We can't. We can't go on that one. It's January of 2024. We are 2025. We can't be talking about the news right now.
We have to run it through the window. The camera's easy. Getting the audio. Yeah, getting the audio. Audio is always the hard part, though.
Maybe just hold the mic.
Yeah. Well,
just grip it the whole time. That's it.
We say that, but even that would be kind of tough. Everything's tough. I don't know. Anything is changing. Anything that it is February. Oh, by the way, do you know that it was the Chinese New Year is on February 1st, and it's the year of the snake?
It was the year of the snake. I didn't know it was February 1st.
Yes. I went to a Chinese New Year party, and that was wild.
That's cool. What'd you do? Was it just party? Okay,
That's
nice.
like the thing, apparently. So we went and it was like all this food was laid out. It was like traditional Chinese, I don't know, food. It was like duck and crab legs and all of this stuff, and it was super, super delicious. And then they roll out this karaoke machine. And I'm like, oh no, this is not what I signed up for. In fact, I don't know any of these people. These were totally randos.
Terrifying. A nightmare.
And it was like, not enough people to be able to hide in the background. I think there was only 20 people. So that was not enough to just sit there and do nothing the whole time.
A succulent Chinese meal?
Yes.
Have you seen that video?
No.
Finish your story, then I'll tell you this. I don't want to interrupt you.
But it certainly, so anyway, so this party was awesome. But it ended up being, I don't drink at all. I mean, I drink tea. I don't drink alcohol.
I'm glad we clarified that you're not just walking around like a piece of jerky.
Well, I've already said that I don't drink water, which is true. But anyway, so it was like shots. The whole time, and I was like, no, thank you, it's okay, I'll just drink my water over here. And they were like, Bryn, you've got to sing. And I'm like, let me wait until all of you are really drunk, and then I'll leave. Which didn't happen. We ended up singing. It was a great time. But what is the movie? What is the video?
Okay, so I'll have to show it to you later because it's with the way he talks. It's so good, but it's this like British guy getting arrested, and he has this very like deep and rich voice. Yeah. But he's like getting arrested, and they're shoving him in the back of a car, and he goes, "What is this? A crime for eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?" And then he's like sticking his head up, and he goes, "Gentlemen, this is democracy manifest." So they're shoving his head in a car. It's so funny.
I want you to keep that in mind if we ever get arrested.
You would like it to be yelling out crazy things as we're doing it?
We gotta I mean, are we even getting arrested if we don't make an incredible video out of it? We're planning on going to Japan, so we might get arrested all the time.
We have to be the crazy foreigner screaming.
Yeah, we have to. There has to be. We're gonna go viral in Japan because they're like, oh yeah, that one American. Because we have to live up to our Floridian. We have to do us proud.
Yeah, not only are we Americans, we're Floridians.
We're Floridians. We have a standard to hold up.
I'm bringing a gator to Japan. And nobody's stopping me.
Right.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Japan trip. Yeah, now I see because we got the itinerary, and I'm excited now.
That standard is being a problem, and being known for being a problem. It's not just a problem. We want everybody to know that. There's no secret. There's no being subtle about this. Jotun? What is Jotun? Jotun?
It's a new race in Pathfinder.
What is that?
I ain't the guy to ask him. I know what Pathfinder is.
Well, I know what Pathfinder is. And Pathfinder 2E. Jotun? Is that how you say that?
Jotun?
Jotun.
Is it like a Norwegian? Did they invent Norway? Pathfinder?
Is the thing...
Jotun, I was right!
Jotun?
Let's go.
Is this like in related to Japanese things?
He sent that a while ago, so it could just be a thing.
It could be Chinese things.
Could be Chinese things. Oh, I was gonna tell you giants. Hi, Nebula.
It sounds like giants to you? What do you mean sounds like giants to you?
Jotun?
Yeah.
Like Jotunheim? Like those are the Norwegian people love.
Right.
They're giants.
Right.
Norse.
Norse word.
I did. Speaking of karaoke, I one time did a karaoke thing.
We're doing karaoke on stream, right?
One day, and I'm gonna be really sick that day, which is unfortunate. I hate karaoke. And a succulent Norwegian meal.
I just want. Okay, this is a really really
go
short.
For it. It's
really
good.
Short. I really do you know what is it? Mika in the singer Mika.
Hatsune Miku?
No. He's a French singer, but he sings a lot of, I don't know, he sings the songs in... This is my problem. Okay, so this is my problem. I love this singer. He's great. He's got all these really funny songs. And I want to do karaoke to his songs, but the whole point of karaoke is that the entire room is kind of singing with you so that it's less awkward.
Yeah.
But nobody knows these songs. And I'm like, you all suck. You have terrible taste in music. You need to learn these songs.
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
Because you don't know Mika. Because I want to sing his song.
Alright, touche. The Numa guy.
Man, that would be great though, right? At least everybody would know it. Anyway, sorry, go on.
So it was a friend of mine, it was her birthday, so she rented a like karaoke room for like us. It was like, I think total like 8 of us in there. And I brought my friend who is a musical theater guy, so he is like really trained on how to sing. And my goal was like, I'm gonna bring him, and then he can sing, and everyone's gonna be so amazed that they don't even pay attention to me. And it fully worked.
Oh,
it fully worked. And but there was also, because at that time I was drinking, and I was like, the only way I'm gonna get through this is if I am not sober. So I tried my very first time for sake, and I got it. And I took they gave me like a jar, which looked like the size of like a beer.
Right.
Just took a sip and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then I remember I kept drinking it, and then around an hour in, that tasted like water.
Yeah.
It's just the rest of it, I was gone at that point.
So at this Chinese party, we were drinking a lot of sake. And I was not. They were drinking a lot of sake. And this one guy, we're in Ocala, so there's like a lot of older people. And one of the guys, this older guy, he must have been like 65 or 70. And he ended up taking a sake bottle because he thought it was a beer.
Oh.
And he drank that whole thing.
Oh.
And not until the end, when he was just carrying it around, did one of the people who were running the place, they were like, "Did you drink that?" And he was like, yeah, it was very delicious.
Oh, no.
And he was hammered.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he was still on this plane of existence. He had like this giant pile of crab legs in front of him. And he was just going ham. And there was no stopping him. His eyes were totally glazed over.
He was in Nirvana.
He really was. I was like, man, this guy's having a great time. So just karaoke in France. Yes, that's true.
Perfect.
It is, it's like he sings in English, so I feel like...
I'm gonna look this guy up, because respectfully, like, you are very bad at names. So I am curious.
Yeah, honestly, that's true. I might just have the wrong name.
Is it just Mika? Is it this guy?
Mika. No, it's Grace Kelly. Yeah, it's one of his. Like, one of his songs is, I could be brown, I could be blue,
I know that song. I know that song, but with, from TikTok sounds. Not like his actual, his actual, like, song.
I love those songs. They're so fun. And they're, like, just, like, easy to sing along to. But, no, it's okay. It's just me. And I'll just sing over here.
I know who you're talking about. Nebula's got you.
Thank you. I'll have one person singing along very far away.
Nebula supports women here.
I love it. Much appreciated. Who would you sing? What song would you sing, hypothetically, on a karaoke night that we may or may not happen, that I'll, hold you to this song forever?
It's so hard. Karaoke is so hard because it is like, you have to find a song that everybody rocks with.
Knows, yeah.
Because you have two avenues, right? You can do a song that everybody knows, and I would probably just do Creed or something, like some dumb dad rock.
Right.
Or you just go horribly depressing and kill the mood completely. I think if you do that, just do like the saddest song that nobody knows.
It doesn't kill the mood. I'm telling you.
The people love it?
Yeah, the people love it. It depends how it's like the soul put into the song. And it really, it helps a lot. I'm just saying.
In the game Disco Elysium, one of the first quests you get, because
Elysium?
Disco Elysium. I'll talk about this game for like half an hour, and I'm not gonna. But one of the things, the game is you wake up. You're a detective who wakes up and does not remember anything of his past because he was on a drunk and like drug binge for like 4 days. So he wakes up hungover, doesn't know anything, one of the first quests you get is you go down to the lobby of the hotel that you wake up in, and you see that they have karaoke. And your first quest is you have to find a song to sing karaoke. And then once you do, the guy who sits at the bar across from you is like, do not get up there and sing again. And then your inner voice is like, you have to sing.
Yeah.
It's like, not only do you have to sing, you have to find something so gut-wrenching it makes them all weep so they know how your soul feels. It's your quest with the game is to find that.
To make you really appreciate this party, the first song that was sung was voluntary. And it was Celine Dion. Whatever is it?
The Titanic song?
The Titanic song. And I was like, wow, this is coming in strong. Like, that is really an impressive first pick. She, like, nailed it. I was like, well, that's incredible.
That's hard to nail.
We can just go home at this point. Like, that was phenomenal. Excellent done. We're leaving.
There was a cruise I went on one time, and I walked in. I was like with my family, and we walked in to the karaoke place, and there was one woman. I don't even remember what song she was singing, but she was singing it so beautifully and with so much passion that we were like, I thought this was amateurs.
Yeah.
We were like, she sounds like really good, well trained. I just peeked in Disco Elysium as being talked about. We was 7-man shot with that. I won't go into it because this will be boring. Disco Elysium is a phenomenal game, and it's absolutely like number 1 or 2 of my favorite games. But it will grind everything to a halt if I describe it, what it is and how it works, and how good it is. But just know it's a good game, and I don't think you'd like it. But it's a good game.
Why wouldn't I like it?
It's a very slow, like pseudo point-and-click adventure, where you have like 16 voices in your head, and they're all just parts of your personality. So the game is, instead of like having skills you're branching and unlocking, it's like you're developing these parts of the personality. So you don't know, you don't remember who he is, but then you kind of figure out who he is, and then also who you want him to be by the end of it.
Gotcha.
There's a part where your inner voice just goes, I think we should revive communism. So you can just become a full communist if you want to in the middle of it.
I like it.
It's a good game. I told my dad about that, and then he said, after I said that, and you paid for this game? I did, Dad.
Most games, though. That's like the same. I think that's like the most common question for most things. They're like, oh yeah, I watch other people play games. They're like, and you pay them?
And you do? What?
And you watch them? And I'm like, yeah.
And you like that?
You watch golf? Like, how is it different?
It's literally the same. Or it's just you hang out, watch somebody play. Like, just hanging out with them, essentially.
Yeah. You're playing Pathfinder First Edition, but every skill is a party member that exists inside your own brain.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good description.
All right, I'm glad that he did way more succinct.
Monster Hunter?
Speaking of games, Monster Hunter, Link, I'll be so honest with you, I played the app for like 2 months, and it was fine. And then I did the demo for the new one that's coming out, and I liked it. I don't know if I'll buy it or not, because I don't know if I want to spend $70 on a video game quite yet. But I'll definitely check it out.
I loved the Monster Hunter that I played. I don't know which one it was, but I played it with AJ, and that was a blast.
I don't know. There's 1,000 of them, and they all have insane Japanese names.
Yeah, so. It was really fun. It was a lot of fun. But the problem is that I probably will. That sounds familiar.
Probably will.
But they all sound familiar, so it doesn't say anything.
It wasn't Monster Hunter Ultimate Alliance 3 Definitive Edition.
Could have been. No idea. But the problem is I had to relearn how to use a controller every single time. And that's exhausting. I'm just not great with that. I'm just not great with controllers, and the frustration that goes into learning how to do that is a real barrier.
Well, now it's on sale on Steam, so you could you don't gotta use a controller then.
That's true. I guess I could. Well, I tried playing it with the mouse and keyboard, and then I still couldn't figure it out. So that's really saying something.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm really bad at technology. It's great, though. It's one of the things I was talking about today is that, like, if you're bad at something, then nobody holds you responsible for it. If you're really good at things, people always look to you for that kind of advice. So I'm okay with being bad at technology because it's got to be the most frustrating thing in anything that happens on this stream. Or within our friend group. It's mostly technology based.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with I fixed my parents' TV one time and ended up breaking everything.
Was it fixed by the end of it, or was it? Okay, good.
Oh, I broke it. It was broke. It was one of those Google House things that connects to your Chrome, to your phone, and all this stuff.
Yeah. Smart house stuff.
The smart house stuff, and I was like, sweet. And what is this New Mexico stuff on it? So I just get rid of that. They're not in New Mexico. So I just got rid of that, and that's like all of the settings for their New Mexico house. Their New Mexico house like has thermostats and all of the shenanigans.
It's off the grid now.
Yeah, it's totally off the grid. And I was like, they don't need that stuff. They're in Florida. What are they doing with all this shit?
That's just silly.
Yeah, so I just erased it. And
the deed of the house was in there.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. So the rest of my siblings who go out there all the time, go out to stay in that house, normally set the thermostat to a livable, because it gets very cold there, a livable temperature a couple days before they go down. Now they cannot do that. They'll just freeze for the first couple days, and that's okay with me. Don't ask me to do that stuff. So yeah, that worked out great. Now I don't have to do that anymore.
My job, I worked, not so much anymore, but I worked with a lot of like old people. And God, they would just ask me questions all the time. And it was like by the end of that job, I hated being asked questions because of how many times they would just ask me. I'll never forget. I had one woman, and I stress this all. They're very nice, and I like them all. And the ones that didn't like quit, and it's an actual just like I'm trying to cover myself. They, one of the ladies there, she asked me to help her sign up for something. And I go okay, and so I go to her desktop, and I'm like, okay, you gotta download this, and. She's like, okay, how do I do that? And I was like, well, open Google Chrome. And she goes, how do I do that? And I went, okay, double click the Google Chrome. And she went, what do you mean double click? And I was like, dude, you
gotta work with me.
These were just two simple words. Like context clues can piece these together. And I had to do that twice. Twice I had to explain how double clicking works to her. So.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience for for any of that.
Yeah, that is what Arcade's job is.
Yeah.
So.
And you know what? That's why I don't work it. That's why now my job is I sit in an office and I can close my door and be left alone completely.
It did take me a surprising amount of time to figure out what right click was. Which you'd think would be really self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But
there's two buttons and one's left and one's on the right.
But the whole clicker is on my right hand. So all clicking
in the grand scheme of things, it's on the right.
All clicking is right clicking because that's where the little mouse pad is. So for me, I was like, oh,
this is weird.
So there's either the click that just makes things happen, and there's the click that pops things up. So I did eventually figure that out. You know, it's really good.
I remember a guy when I was in IT that thought he needed to right-click everything after I showed him to right-click to fix a minor issue the day before. He unlocked the world for this man.
Yes, now he has an entire new world opened. It's a wild time. I don't know. I feel like I am the problem, so I can only be so frustrated about it, because I don't know. If I had to do any of this stuff in here, people would be like, oh yeah, how does any of this work? I don't know. I have never even I turned that computer on one time. And the extent of it was push the button. Yep. And I pushed the button.
It's a big button, too. So.
Yeah, and it's a big button. And then the whole thing starts going like, whoosh.
Makes like a beeping sound when you turn it on.
And I was like, it worked.
It did. Now go.
And then Hexie, I'm like, you're welcome. And she's like, thank you. And I'm like, you're welcome. I'm such a good person.
Yeah, Sunday's stream breakdown. What you guys didn't see, for anyone who doesn't know, which I assume everybody knows, but just if for anyone on the VOD that didn't know, the day of streaming this a few days ago was supposed to be the Aeon's finale, and the internet just completely shut down. But what you guys didn't see before that was like an hour and a half of AJ and I in here just trying to fix everything on the computer, because everything on the computer broke, and we were trying to fix things and reinstall plugins and get all this stuff worked out. And then all for the internet to just crap out on us. So, it's cool. It was really cool and fun.
It sounded terrible. I posted at the time. I was posting the schedule for that week for things that we were going to post online. And I posted it. And then I was like, oh, I'll go watch the thing. So I went to Twitch. I was like, they're not live. And I was like,
that's an issue.
Uh-oh. What happened there? And then I quickly deleted my post on what we were posting that week because it wasn't going to happen.
I had thought I saw it while we were doing it, and I was like, okay. And later I went and I was like, I swear. It was the next day. I was like, I swear she posted, like, a list, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, I took that down. Because a lot of it was like, yeah, recap the finale, all this stuff, and then we have all this cool stuff to, you know.
The Secrets, that's out, so we can't talk about that. The Secrets trailer was supposed to be out and building hype for that too, but everything changed.
Yeah, that's the thing. Do you have any superstitions?
Superstitions, just in general?
Yeah.
Because
a lot of people, it's like some of the people are like, I don't know, for finales and stuff, they were like, oh my gosh, I could feel it or whatever it is. Do you have any of those? Do you have anything where you're like, this, I have to do this for it to work?
Not really. No, I've never been superstitious about stuff.
Never really been. I ride horses and I compete them. And horses are generally the most unreliable creatures. Like, if you need to rely on them for something at all,
they won't do it.
They're probably gonna let you out and let you down. Like, that's just kind of how it is. They don't handle pressure well. They're flight animals. They would really rather just run away.
I get it.
And so a lot of people are very superstitious in the horse world. And they'll wear the same colored socks, or they'll do this, or they'll have the same whip, or they'll wear the same gloves. So I used to, when I was very young, it was very, like, everybody did it, so I was also I was like, yeah, these socks, I won in these socks, I should wear these socks again.
These are the winner socks.
And then I didn't win the next time, and I had those socks on, and I was like, well, these socks suck, so I'm never wearing these socks again. And eventually, I was like, this is actually really difficult to keep up with what I am and am not allowed to wear on certain days. And I was like, this is baloney! And I got really frustrated.
So you tried being superstitious, but it was too hard.
It was too difficult. I was like, this sucks. So I stopped being superstitious. And now I'm not superstitious on principle because I had such a lovely experience with
I don't have any superstitions I can think of. My only irrational fear I have, this is the closest I guess to a superstition, is because my house, I have to go outside to put the trash in, like the big trash can that's outside. Right. And my fear, I had it since I was like 12 or 13, was that I would open the trash can and then somebody would be in there. And since then, every time I go out at night, I'm like, there's a chance. I open it, there could be a guy in here. Yeah. There's never has been. I don't even think I've seen a raccoon in there. But
it's funny you say that because I don't watch horror movies because of that. Because I have never considered that could be a possibility or something, and then I'll be like, well, they ain't wrong though. It's a perfectly sized and person-sized container. A person could sit in that container and I could open it and there could be there.
There could be a predator anywhere at this point.
Yeah, that's really why I don't watch horror movies, because then forever I'm like, well, they got a point. They got a point. It's like what is that thing where on semi-trucks, the logs and stuff, people don't want to drive.
Oh, for Final Destination.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to watch that. Because, like, I've never had that fear in my life, and I don't want to start. Yeah, I don't want to start, so I'm not going to watch that film.
Of all of those movies, I think that was the only one that baked a fear into the general, like, zeitgeist.
No, yeah, the Jaws.
Jaws too, yeah.
Jaws had a huge impact. Nobody was afraid of sharks until Jaws. Yeah. And then it became a huge hysteria of people not wanting to go into the ocean. It's funny because in Hawaii, it caused a giant impact on who went on vacation.
I didn't know it had an impact on Hawaii.
Yeah, because Hawaii is surrounded by water.
Yeah. And their whole thing is beaches.
Yeah, people stopped going into the water for months after that movie came out. Huh. And eventually, people started going back in, but it really scared, everybody.
What's the last horror movie you did watch?
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes. What was it and what year was it?
I was 12 years old. I was 12 years old, and it was Chucky.
Okay.
I didn't realize...
The first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Okay, well...
One of them. And it was I didn't realize it wasn't a kid's movie.
Yeah.
Because it's about a doll.
Yeah.
And I wasn't supposed to watch it. I was supposed to go to bed. But my house is a little bit like a maze out in Mexico, so you can get around to the back of the living room without anybody knowing if you're particularly stealthy. And so that's what I did. I snuck around and I was like, I'm gonna watch this movie. I'm supposed to go to bed, but they can't tell me what to do. So I was watching it and I was like, this movie's weird. This is kind of creepy. But
that doll's mean.
Like, yeah, I'm like, so I will have you know that every single movie that I had ever seen had a happy ending. So I was like, well, that's fine. This is a weird movie. But all movies have to have happy endings. That's how movies work.
Yeah.
So I watched the whole thing. And it was terrible. I was very, very afraid. And then I went back to my room. And I have a porcelain doll collection in my room. And it's like...
Horrible timing.
Yeah.
Horrible timing for that.
It's like exquisite dolls. These are very, very fancy. And they're in a glass case. And it's just like lined rows and rows of porcelain dolls. And I couldn't move them because I didn't want anybody to know that I had watched this movie because I wasn't supposed to have watched it. And I also didn't want to upset the dolls. Because I was like, they have been living peacefully for this whole time.
They didn't do anything different.
Yeah. So if they watch me while I sleep, I guess that's just how it's gonna be. And that was the last time I watched a horror movie because it scared me so badly.
Oh, that's funny.
I get scared so easily though. I get scared. I'll watch a trailer for a horror movie and get scared.
So that's the last horror movie you like willingly watched?
What's that phrasing?
No, I didn't know if you were like with some people and they're like, yeah, we're gonna put a movie on, and then they're like, here's Hereditary.
Have you ever seen me get bullied into anything?
No, I mean that's true. I mean, fair.
First of all, that is like literally.
I forgot you have the resilience, more resilience than anyone I've ever met.
The peer pressure factor on me is 0. Like
that's true.
You cannot force me into anything
that's funny.
ever. It's a thing. I did actually get very scared on the Winnie the Pooh when Christopher Robin goes to school.
The ride or the
No,
movie?
It's a movie.
Okay.
He goes to school and they get trapped in this cave. They think he went to Skull, so they go
Skull. Okay.
because they can't
That's
read.
silly.
And so they went into this big cave, this skull cave, and it was like this mirror maze.
Yeah.
And they get separated, and I'm like, amateur mistake.
You guys are prey.
You guys, absolutely. So yeah, that was also very scary to me.
I thought you meant the ride because the Winnie the Pooh ride at Disney is weirdly creepy.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Like
I bet it would be though.
It's because it's Pooh goes to sleep and then you go into like his dreams and there's like a nightmare section where there's just like big creatures all around.
Right.
And then Tigger's kind of just creepy the whole time too.
That's what that movie was. It was creepy. They were trying to get like it was like a horror movie. All of the flowers were snapping at them. I mean, it was terrible. It's really bad. If I move the dolls, they'll know I'm onto them. That literally is exactly what I thought. I was like, I'm not. I guess they're there.
That's how they are now. They're
built
like that.
Now they're fine. Now they're just gonna stay there. They've stayed there this whole time so far. So
I've never seen any of the Chucky movies.
it's a little bit like Sully. I say that about everything that's
Any small violent redhead. It's like, oh, that's Sully.
Anything that's like this short, like cute little thing in the movie that's like surprisingly violent. I'm like, oh, look, it's just like Sully.
It's Sully. There she is.
Thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Angry small child wields a knife.
Yeah. We need to get a photo of Sully in her feral state.
I think she was Chucky for Halloween one year.
I think she was too.
I think she was.
I think I saw a picture of this, and it's only leads me to believe that
it's her. That's her. You know what?
Yeah.
There's receipts.
She goes feral. I don't know if like she's so sweet and nice all the time, but every once in a while she goes like feral.
I think she has on stream before.
Oh, she probably has. I just haven't seen enough.
I've seen
she probably has. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been times on stream where she'll get stressed and she'll be like, wait. She'll do like that move.
Yeah.
Maybe she did on an EDH game. She might have done it in it. EDH is Commander's Magic again. That's the other word for it.
I don't know if she gets angry in games,
mention a Temple of the False God. She goes nuts. On a Corey quiz that we did forever ago, somebody, I think it was Link, asked what was my what is my least favorite Magic card, and I just couldn't think of anything, so I put one down, and she knew the correct answer, which was Temple of the False God, but I couldn't remember it, so I turned around and it was a different answer, and she was like, no! She was like, that's not right! And I saw her answer, and I was like, oh no, she is right.
Yeah.
It is Temple of the False God. I said Winter Orb, which is, I mean, it's a bad card, but anyway.
Poor Sully.
So yeah, Sully goes nuts. She's funny.
She tries her best. She tries her best at like keeping cool and collected.
She was texting me
always
in all caps a lot today because she was finally able to watch the Royal Rumble. Because that was this WWE that was on last Saturday. She missed it, so she sent me a photo of her watching it, and I just kept getting some play-by-play of what was happening.
She should do that as a stream, by the way.
Just
be a great
play-by-play the Royal Rumble.
Play-by-play. Honestly, it should be a react to.
It'd be good. I don't know how we would. I mean, I guess we just all watch the same stream at the same time.
She's into it now. She's like really into it.
She's really into it. My Monday nights have become Monday Night Raws,
Yeah.
and I don't know what's going on in there.
But again, it fits.
It fits.
If I ever see her on a show like a WWE show, I will be like, yeah, not that surprised actually.
You're the only person to not be surprised, because every other person I've told, they've been like, Sully? Like, Sully likes the WWE? And I'm like, I know. You would look at me and think WWE.
Right. I never realized that the WWE, like, I know I've said this before, I didn't really realize how it worked. I didn't realize it was like a drama show.
Yeah, there's a lot of drama happening back there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drama happening. They're like 6-foot men who are like the most jacked and roided up guys you've ever seen in your life, and they're having like 2-year-old girl, 2-year-old second grade girl like drama, but instead of like,
I don't know where that sentence was going, and I was like,
just hear me out. Let me finish. They're the same level of drama as that, but instead of like telling on each other, they just beat each other and they throw chairs. It's very crazy.
Who was it that was planning on having a WWE Pathfinder campaign? Oh no, it wasn't that. It was
I know somebody wanted
metal.
Oh
metal
yeah,
campaign. That would be awesome.
That got pitched a while ago. I don't know, whatever.
Well, we just didn't have anybody to run it.
That's true. Everybody's on stuff.
Well, yeah, not only that, but even the players. We want people that like are really into the genre.
Yeah. Because
it really helps if people are like, no.
Yeah.
It's not like a faker kind of industry.
Yeah. Because I don't even listen to that one. I don't know who listens to metal in our group. I listen to like Tool every now and then, but like very like new metal stuff, not even like metal.
Yeah, we could have a I don't know. Going back to karaoke, by the way.
Great transition.
We should absolutely do metal.
Screamo. Let's have Sully do Screamo.
Right.
I mean, we could have it so like chat decides the songs that we sing.
That's a terrible idea.
What if we can vet it?
We can vet it.
We can vet it. We can say no.
But you kind of have to know a little bit on the oh yeah, that's true. I do remember Mancha had like a WWE character. I don't think he started like that though. It was a little bit before my time, but he would grapple literally everything.
And then just like Zerg, German suplex them?
Yeah. And then Zerg, we had another character that was on the circus one. And he would oh my gosh. Mono,
Mono's in a metal band, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. Actually, we should just fly him out here.
Let's get him out here.
Fly him out here. I mean, like, what is he doing with his life?
I mean, we're already going to Japan. We can just pick him up on the way. On the way back, we just go, come
That's
on.
That's a great idea.
Come on, Mono, we go.
Do you think he would notice?
Do you think he would be weirded out by a group of like 10 people he doesn't really know? Just that he knows one of them.
There are 10 of us. So what is he going to do about it?
We win no matter what.
We win.
We can easily get him through customs.
Yeah, I don't even think the airport people would mind. They're like, I don't know, they dropped off the Australians here way back when. They could pick them up whenever they feel like it.
We just go, oh, I'm sorry, officer. We're on an internet show. we make content for the internet, okay? It's within our legal rights.
Yeah.
Take it up with my boss, Jimmy Beast.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like anything in the studio, singing-wise, Okay, so it's hard to do karaoke without a little bit of an audience.
I mean, if we get... Because this seats 5, right? So that'd be 4 of us and then 1 person, and then theoretically a person behind the screen.
Right.
So that would be 5 people watching.
Yeah.
We would have chat up so that the person doing it could sing.
Yeah.
What we would want to do, ideally, what we want to do, right, is have like a camera set up with a green screen behind it, so we can also have, whenever they have those like karaoke things and they have all the moving like colors and stuff behind them, we have that as well. So like we have like a little station so that they're looking at us sing. You guys can't see it, but there's a perfectly cut wood frame right there. We could.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the stage.
What's interesting to me, and this may come off poorly, but is
Oh no.
I know.
Oh no. I'm so scared what you're gonna say.
Is that normally all of the friends that I know that are from Japan are very reserved. So it's wild to me that they really love karaoke.
Yeah, I think it's...
I'm way louder than they are, and they're like, sing, and I'm like... And they're like, Manda! And I'm like, oh my god, who are you?
I think there's an element of like... Because like a lot of the places in Japan, you rent that small room with your friends. So I think there's the element of you're in like a private area with your friends doing it.
I would be no less comfortable singing in front of solely...
But exactly. Yes, exactly.
I don't understand how they're like totally okay with that. Even if it were just one person. If it were just one person in our company, I'd be like...
There's a bit of a side tangent, but in the game Persona 3, you can... spend your time in the game and go to a karaoke place, and your one guy goes and rents a room, and it's the most awkward thing because it cuts to him in this dark room on a sofa holding a mic like this, just bobbing up and down, and then at the bottom it says, I had a great time at karaoke today, and then you get points or whatever, and it's like he looks like a serial killer just sitting in the corner the whole time. Mistress Cha, if karaoke, especially in Japanese, is a future option, Mancha and I might need to hop on a plane.
Yes! Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if we had like a collaborative karaoke night?
We all meet up in Japan, do karaoke once, and then leave.
I think they were talking about here.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Is
that Mancha
especially
like here?
in Japanese? Oh, in Japanese.
Yeah.
I read that as in Japan.
Oh, yeah. That's okay. That's a mean thing to do, so... I'm okay with that.
I filled in the blanks and removed letters.
Yeah, well, he's just really hyped about going to Japan. So anything
excited.
he references is going to be in reference to going to Japan. Which is going to be super exciting, by the way.
It is very exciting.
We're probably going to get arrested.
We're eating a succulent Chinese meal while we do it.
Yeah. And kicked out. We also have giants coming with us. So we have like Marcus and Colby.
I didn't even think about this.
And we're gonna get...
They have to bend under doorways.
Yeah, I'm like... So we're gonna have all these little, like, people pulling us over to get pictures with Marcus and Colby.
Yeah.
I have no doubt. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
We're gonna get stared at.
So
like
hard. Like
insane.
Nobody. We are the most American-looking Americans I've ever seen. Like we have our graphic tees and our basketball shorts and our old sneakers galore.
Yeah.
That's literally all everybody wears. And then we'll have Nick and Jen on the side looking dapper, and nobody
It's
will
Sully.
think. Well,
Sully can dress well.
That's true.
If it's, but even then, our fashion will be very different from like fashion that's
and
there.
Sully's a redhead.
And Sully's a redhead.
So, like, I mean, you win some, you lose some. She's also going to...
She's going to have a lot of photos taken. We don't go to the red light district with her. They will try to hire her. You can't do that.
Exactly. I don't know. It'll be really interesting. Also, haven't told everybody yet, but...
This is news to me.
Oh, well, and we have Dirk coming, too.
Yes.
He's giant.
Yes.
He's like, all these guys are like 6'7". You don't know.
At least.
They're so tall. But I haven't told anybody, but all of our beds, I think, are twin-size beds.
Oh. I saw on reservation one of them had a queen, but...
That was for couples.
Okay, sick. So everyone else gets... It equates to a twin-size bed that way.
So it's actually twin-size. Per square footage, per person, queen-size beds, you get less room.
Oh.
Than a twin.
That's
per person.
That's alright.
I think so. I think. I have to look. But I told them when originally to get the rooms. I was like, I want big enough beds for Americans. And I don't think they understood what I meant.
We have 3 giants with us.
And I was like, oh, they'll live.
We've got Sully and Jen, who are the right proper proportions.
Yeah, really. And probably Nick. Nick will be okay.
Nick will be fine.
And that's it. Everybody else can have a real hard time.
I was looking at the itinerary, and I realized, I think I said part of it was, because it's the day we land is also like the day to free explore Tokyo. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm going to want to explore Tokyo a lot, but we will have just flown for like 16 hours. So I'm like, maybe I just need to take like a lot of melatonin on the flight, and then
you really do have to. You gotta sleep on the way over.
Yeah.
It's really tough, because if you don't, man, your trip is tough. Derp can't sleep anywhere, so if he sleeps on the floor, I mean, such is life. That's okay. Last night, so Mancha went on their honeymoon in Japan.
Oh,
him and his wife.
That's cool.
Which is super cool. They got great pictures. Last night we were in Japan. The hotel we stayed at had pajamas. Pajamas to use. One size fits all. One size fits all Japanese. There's a size of how teeny tiny they were. Yeah. Honestly, I'm thrilled. This should be amazing.
I don't think they make clothes for me.
I'm so excited.
I'm like, I'm gonna buy souvenirs, but I don't think I could buy like a shirt.
We are gonna have to make sure that everybody walks into this like really with mental fortitude, because they are not polite about being overweight. They or just being tall too. Like they will pull you across the street to be like, you are an incredible giant, and I'm like, well, okay, maybe like calm down a little bit. Like
that's why we all have to dress really nice. So then it looks even more impressive.
Then we could be movie stars. So then they want to be on our good side, and they don't want to piss us off. So then they'll be super polite.
I'm just excited to go and see the big the big Godzilla statue that's right in the middle of Tokyo. Then you can go up and apparently eat a Godzilla burger. Don't know if it'll be good or not, but I'm gonna eat it.
I don't know what I was expecting for you to eat going up to the Godzilla, because you were like, there's a Godzilla statue. You can go right up to it and eat a Godzilla
burger.
And I was like, what's going to be at the end of this?
Just a little piece of radiation.
Yeah, just like something. Yeah, something, a piece of coal or something.
Touristy places have souvenir clothes in closer to American sizes.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, that makes sense. They have for especially women, for shopping malls, they have the fat cow is where you would shop for plus size. Yeah.
The fat cow is
it's not even a joke. That's what the names are for a clothing store. And it's in these shopping ones. They have the second story is for the plus size. Because I think they're trying to get us to lose weight by walking upstairs. But it's the names are really hard.
I'm gonna open a plus size store on top of a skyscraper called Tubby's Only.
Yeah, no, you really should look it up.
No elevators.
It's remarkable that they have the names there. I'm like, I don't want to go in the store. It's wild. I would definitely be considered plus size in Japan because they are tiny. They're tiny people.
Speaking of being plus size, I am very excited for the food.
I'm so excited.
I don't like seafood that much, so I know I'm gonna struggle a bit, but I'm willing to try everything while I'm there. I'll do things I don't like normally.
Yeah. Well, and I think for the most part, I mean, they have a ton of other food that's not seafood. You can have an incredibly diverse diet without having
pork and chicken stuff all over.
Yeah, and steak. They have everything. It's you get some Wagyu beef.
The one thing I do want to, which again is also very American, I do want to try their McDonald's because I'm told it's very different.
I went to McDonald's in, Germany or whatever it was, and it was so good. It was so good.
I heard a video today where a guy was talking, he's like, the McDonald's fries here are so bad, and he was like, and I thought it was just I changed, I grew older, and I don't like them, but he's like, then I went to Japan, and their fries taste exactly like they did when I remember as a child. So I'm like, I gotta know. The Godzilla -1 stuff was at McDonald's when we were in Japan. Oh, I'm jealous.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I'm jealous.
What is it? So we're gonna go in October-ish. Are there any good movie franchises coming out at the time?
Not that I know of. There's no Godzillas coming out, which is unfortunate.
When's the next Godzilla supposed to come out?
I don't know. The guy who made Godzilla -1 is currently writing the sequel. So, we got...
I mean, it's not that hard to write.
Yeah, but it's also hard to film it to make a big CGI lizard.
It's not like they put a whole lot of thought.
It's crazy.
It's not like they put a whole lot of thought behind these storylines.
Godzilla Minus One is the one they put. That's the sad one. That's the one that made Sully cry in the middle of it.
Okay, fair.
What I'm trying to do though before we get to Japan is I'm trying to fully catch up on One Piece so that I could go there and be okay.
A connoisseur.
Well, it's One Piece is big. Like all the characters for One Piece, they recently made a bunch of safety cones for the government that are all the characters from One Piece.
That's phenomenal.
It's very cute.
That's so
right?
cool.
And I don't want to go.
Yeah, you
and then have something like,
yeah.
well, I don't want to go and have something major happen, and then I see it, and I don't know what's happening, and I also see it before America sees it, because
that is true. That is true.
Because where it's at now, big things are happening, so I'm like, I gotta catch up. I gotta catch up before I don't get to enjoy One Piece. Like,
do you have like 3,000 left, or how you
no?
doing?
I'm almost at episode 800.
Oh.
And there's like 1,200 episodes, and the anime paused, and the manga is like one arc ahead. So I can catch up. Once I get to reading, I can read that all so fast.
Yeah.
But downloaded a bunch of One Piece chapters on my phone for the Shonen Jump app, and was reading it off the plane right over. I will also be doing that, I am sure. Bye, Nebula.
Bye, Nebula.
Yeah, I'll be downloading a bunch of One Piece because you have so much There's so much to read.
I don't know. That's just like overwhelming. It's like the same thing. What was I saying? It's overwhelming to start. I'm just like drinking the amount of water you're supposed to drink during the day. I'm like, that's too much. I can't even start drinking water at that point. And that's how I think a little bit with One Piece. I'm like,
I'll never fault anyone for not starting One Piece because it is massive.
Such an investment.
But it is like I watched. This is very telling of what I do, how much I do at my job. I watched almost 100 episodes in a matter of like a week and a half. But it was because it was so good. It was like this sounds really dramatic what I'm about to say, and I recognize that. But One Piece is like an Odyssey level story. It is like world traveling, but it is also hitting those like huge like emotional points. Yeah,
it really has to be, or else it wouldn't be what it is.
Yeah,
like unless there's
a
like,
reason.
Yeah. It's one of those things where people are like, man, it's just like kind of crappy. And I'm like, well, it can't be. Because it wouldn't be what it is today.
Yeah,
I'm sure it has its ups and downs, but I mean, you gotta be something if you're gonna have that kind of a following.
Yeah, it's especially the most of the downs I feel while watching One Piece are not because of the story. It's because of the animation studio is also making each episode each week. So they have a lot of like filler and dead air between.
Right.
The One Piece, an episode, normally, it's just 24 minutes, like any other show, right? When you start it, you've got a 3-minute intro, and then like a 5-minute recap, and then there's also like a 2 to 3 minute outro with also a small what's to come. So you've got about 15 minutes of One Piece in there.
Very short.
So you can like quickly get through it all.
I've been listening to the Brendan Sanderson Stormlight Archive series since I caught up on all of my podcasts. I'm impressed that I could read all of that in one go.
Good job.
The first book is a 45-hour audiobook. Oh my gosh.
Brutal. I'm
That's
struggling
tough.
to read my 8-hour audiobook.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oda has been working on this story since he was still in the womb. Oda wrote One Piece. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I can imagine. He was working hard.
He started it in 1999.
Oh, nice.
And the anime started in 2002, and it's still actively going. So, it's like 30 years almost.
So if you ever feel like you're getting burnt out on something, stop being lame. This man has been doing the same thing for like 100 years, and he's still doing it. So maybe just get over yourself and I don't know, do whatever you're supposed to be doing. This man is crazy. That's dedication.
There were quotes. There's quotes from him where he's like, I don't go on vacation because when I do, then I come back and I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. He's like, and I can't do that.
Right?
He had to get.
I believe it.
He's only took the entire. Speaking on that too, he's only taken like 2 or 3 breaks, and they've all been health reasons. He has kids, so in this time, he's had children and did not stop making One Piece through all of that. And one of them, he had eye surgery, so he physically could not do it. So that's why he had to stop.
What's kind of funny is that aren't they running into problems with money or something for the
anime? Yes, yes and no. Like they took the most recent anime episodes starting with the end of the Wano arc, they've like upped the quality of it all, and they've been getting way more like experimental kind of with the animation and stuff.
Yeah.
So he like their studio's been like pumping out incredibly quality stuff. So I think they started running low on funds, but they also like I think they just paused because they were catching up to the manga, because the where the anime ended, the manga is like half an arc ahead, which is not like they would catch up in like 3 months. So they're redoing an arc to let them get further ahead. And also get more money probably.
Yeah.
But
because like I would assume that this would be a much more worth it endeavor for him to do this forever if he were making bank.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if they're running out of money, that's kind of tough. But it might just be, I don't know.
That's the animation studio. He himself, he's still going strong. He's great. I've been trying to contribute by chatting, but literally cannot figure out how to do so on desktop. I believe in you, Logan. I don't know how to help you.
We are all old boomers.
We all suck in our technology.
I'm just saying. You have to have some leeway for the old folks, because we are the old folks now. I went down to the oh my gosh. Okay, wait a minute, guys. I went down to the villages. What is it? A week ago, maybe? Mm-hmm. The villages are so cool. Have you ever been down to the villages?
I know, Bryn. I've been down to the
phenomenal.
villages.
They have
They've got Johnny Rockets.
They have live music every single night at 4 different plazas. They have like 300 different restaurants. They have all these like swag golf carts. These golf carts are like lowriders with lights under them and like chameleon paint jobs.
It's their life.
It really is. They put their life, their soul into these golf carts. And then they have, if you go and watch the music, these people are dancing for hours.
They're line dancing for so long.
For hours. And then there's these, the free dancing is the cutest thing you may ever see in your entire life. It's these couples, and like there's one that can like barely move, and their hip is clearly not working very well, and they're just out there like elbows flying, knees a twerking, like it's crazy. It's so much fun. This is a group of people that moved to a place for their retirement purely because they wanted to get the most out of life.
Yeah.
So it ends up being a group of people that is like actively trying to enjoy life, which is very rare. Yeah. There's very few places where you can get a group of people together that are actively trying to like enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
That's very rare. I was impressed.
I've been going to the villages lately more and more because I do like a side hustle with my dad where we like. Sounds weird now that I'm saying it out loud, but we have an app that like people return mattresses through.
There you go.
So like purple mattresses and stuff, you have like the 100-day return policy.
Right.
We'll go pick those up, clean them, then resell them.
Okay, good job.
So I've been going to the villages a lot, and every time we go, it's like a different part of it that I've never seen before, and it's
giant.
It's huge.
It's giant.
And it's built out, crazy. And they also weirdly have like really good movie theaters.
Yeah.
Like I remember
they have to, right?
Well, it's like they have theaters that show stuff that like nowhere else will show.
Yeah.
Like I remember the movie Jojo Rabbit was out, and it was only in a theater in the villages and nowhere else. So I was like, I went and saw it. It was great, but I was like, it's crazy that they're getting like these deep pulls for movies to go.
Yeah. It was really cool. I had a great time going down there. Obviously, it's kind of far away, so I probably won't go down much, but it was fun. It was cool. I drove down and all this stuff, and I parked in the parking lot, and right next to me, there was a car with a loofah on the top of it.
There's so many loofahs.
I was like, what? This is a thing?
Yep.
And so I immediately looked it up because I was like, this is so exciting. And it was a gray loofah. And I picked up and I Googled that. I was like, what does gray loofah mean? And it was like, it probably means it's old and full of dust. And I'm like,
ugh.
That's not what I meant, obviously! Obviously, that's not what I'm looking for. But it took me like 30 seconds to like process that they were not talking about anything. Yeah. Like Google knows me so well and knows that I am such not in the gutter ever. That it just assumed that I literally meant a gray loofah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, And it took me at least 30 seconds to process that that's not, it just, I'm like, but everybody's old and full of dust here.
That's the default. What do you mean?
I'm like, what do you mean? Like, isn't this so weird? It's like, I'm too old for anything, but I really like being a part of the crew. And that's what I thought. And then 30 seconds later, I was like, oh.
I just meant like,
It just like, and I was like, whatever. And so I didn't look up anyway because the wind had fallen out of my sails at that point. But I may never know.
I won't say where for my security, but I do work in a retirement community, and there's few, but there are for the loofahs are gonna give me, but there are a few loofahs I see every now and then. And one of them was like a blue one, and I googled it, and it just meant down for anything. And I was like, those the freaks. Yeah. It's like those are the freaks.
At least it wasn't gray and old and full of dust. I was like, I was so confused. I really was. It took me a while to understand.
That's just how everybody is.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, this is the Villages. That's gonna be everybody. I don't know what you're talking about. Is the Villages
still the STD capital of the world?
Yes, I think so.
Those old people are crazy.
But I mean, like, what's the problem? Like,
just know that you're 40 minutes away from chlamydia at any time.
I am definitely less than 40 minutes away from chlamydia. Are you kidding me? I live in Ocala.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I think at any point...
We're surrounded by
chlamydia. We're surrounded. There's nothing you can do about it. Ocala is also a pretty wild place, and they have, I don't know if it's... honestly... Nothing can really beat out the Villages.
No, they are the capital.
They are the capital. So
they are.
And we're the horse capital of the world, and
they're copying us.
You gotta have something. You gotta have something going for you, and it's not the restaurants, I guess.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm saying. Manchild really has it. What's the problem with having an STD if you're really only planning on living? And at that point, once you're old,
might as well live much to the fullest.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, I don't know. This is maybe a little bit morbid, but me and my dad have an agreement, and I'm like, if I am ever just like a vegetable, like just pull it, man, just do it. And me and him, we have an agreement about this, and I'm like, if that ever happens, if I ever feel like I'm running on the far side of things, and I'm not allowed to do anything about it, I'm gonna go get an extremely bad STD. It's the things that we think about.
I've said that, but if I get dementia, I'm like, just pull it.
Okay,
I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah. So one of my friends, her grandma. Have I told you this before? I don't know. I think about it a lot.
Okay.
I think about it a lot because her grandparents are not that old. I mean, they're younger than I think my parents because my parents are very old. They ended up. They were ice skating. He played professional hockey, and she was a tennis player. And they're incredibly active. They've always been incredibly, very, very healthy people. And they're only like 65 years old. And the grandmother has incredible dementia. And they moved. Right when she started getting really bad, they moved to a new house so that they could be closer to family. But she didn't like the new house. She actually liked her old house. But now she has dementia, so she doesn't know which house she liked. So she only knows that she doesn't like her current house and that she liked her previous house better. And it doesn't matter where they moved because she doesn't remember where her previous house was. So she is consistently miserable all the time because she doesn't like her current house. She likes the previous house. And it's like a huge... For her, it's like I hate this house. It's not like she's just unhappy living there. She hates living there. She just wants to move, and they can't fix it. There's nothing they can do about it.
That's the thing, because it's also they just always get angry.
Yeah.
Like when somebody with dementia, they just get angry at the end. Right. I remember my friend's grandma had it, and that was when I talked to her and I just realized that she's gone. I hadn't seen her in years at that point, but I was like, you're not even a person at this point. It's just
Well, and they're both extremely active, but she lost a lot of her balance, so she couldn't do it. They couldn't really go out, but her husband couldn't really go out because he couldn't really leave her at home because she'd just walk out the door and leave.
Yeah.
So he couldn't really go out, and he can't really bring her with him. because she's also afraid that she's gonna get lost all the time.
Yeah.
And so really they're stuck in the house. And I'm like, that's the most scary thing I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah, like
visiting
really
them,
is.
Visiting them is like really an exercise. I have to really, really be ready for it because it's really tough. And they're only 65.
Oh God, not even
and they're
70.
incredibly healthy people. Like physically,
They're just getting Medicaid.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's
physically,
terrifying.
they could still go play tennis. Like they are. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you?
Yeah, I can't.
Oh my god, and I feel terrible for the husband.
Yeah.
Because he's like, what is he? I mean, what are you supposed to do? It's
Sickness
tough.
and health is sad.
Yeah, it's really a tough time. Anyway, that's like one of the scariest things. Like talking about scariest things.
Yeah.
That is by far one of the scariest things I think I've ever seen.
My two biggest fears: somebody in my trash can and dementia.
They have equal weight.
Equally as likely at this point in my life.
Right. I don't think there's anything that's like a random. I've only recently discovered that I might consider being claustrophobic.
Okay.
And that's watching. It was like Internet Historian.
Yeah, the cave.
The cave guy.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing where I was watching it, and I was like, I am immediately extremely claustrophobic right now watching this.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I've never considered myself to be claustrophobic at all. But watching that, I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's gonna be a no. The cave video, that's exactly. It's really, really bad.
I used to be extremely claustrophobic as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I found out I was claustrophobic was when my parents got us Disney tickets, and we wanted to go on the Peter Pan ride, and I was like 4 or 5 at the time.
Yeah.
I freaked out because I was like, that's trapped inside, and I'm freaking out. Like it's like I don't want to be anywhere near that.
Yeah.
So even like growing up until I was like 14 or 15, I was even scared to go in an elevator. Like I would go in, but the whole time I was like panicking until I got out of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was extremely claustrophobic for a while. So
That's why I was
that cave video was a brutal watch.
Yeah,
So I was like,
yeah, I mean it was brutal to watch for me.
Yeah.
And I've never considered myself to be. I don't even know how you watched it because I was like, wow, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this.
when he would start describing like how his foot was positioned and stuff like that, or like how he was like in there,
And
I was
like the belly crawl where you're
Ugh.
scraping along, I'm like, yeah. No.
There's also I haven't watched the movie, but there's a movie with Ryan Reynolds where he's like buried alive in a coffin, and the whole movie is him in a coffin as he's like trying to like find a way to get out and like call for help and stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, can't do
I
that
don't
one.
think I would like that.
That one ain't for me.
I don't think I would like that.
I read the description of it on Wikipedia, and I read the plot, and I was like, that's it. I'm not watching this movie. I know what happens, and I don't want to watch it anymore. So
I think the only real fear I have is a fear of deep, dark water. Yeah. I don't know. It's like that's something like creeping up behind you, kind of. I don't know. That is kind of tough.
I've never had a fear of the water. I didn't know the fear of the water was a thing, like deep water like that was a thing, until I watched Adventure Time, when they had an episode where Finn had a fear of the water. And I was like, that never even crossed my mind. It's because I haven't watched Jaws.
Yeah.
So like maybe that's why.
I also haven't watched Jaws, but I've been snorkeling a lot, and it's tough because you have blinders on, so you normally can see actually quite far around.
Yeah.
And when you can't, and you don't know what's behind you all the time, it gets to you pretty fast.
That's fair, yeah.
So it also depends if you're alone. So if you have other people, you can kind of watch each other's back, and then it's not quite so funky. But I can absolutely see how that would be a pretty like legitimate fear.
Yeah.
Heights is a huge problem for me. I am actually incredibly afraid of heights.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And normally I can just tough my way through it. But for most things, I mean, I guess with everything, you can mentally your way through like almost anything.
Yeah.
But if I allow myself to be scared a little bit, I will be scared a lot and I can't come back really.
Oh, no.
So I either have to like totally shut that down.
It's a domino, like once it starts, so
once
stop
it starts, I really get like, I start feeling it and then I get really afraid. We were doing the ceiling panels in here. And
oh, wow, even just this.
Even just this. We were on a ladder. I mean, the ladder's not that tall. And we were doing ceiling panels, and I was up there, and I was totally fine for like a while. And then I thought about it. And I was like, It's kind of like if I look down, it's kind of high off the ground, and then it was over. And I literally, and it was within like 3 seconds. I was like, Arcadis, sorry, you're gonna have to do this. And it was so fast. It was like, I'm fine, and then I started it, and it was gone.
So you wouldn't do those things where it's like a skyscraper where they have like the glass platform. And
I've done those before.
You have?
And not like. You have to cut it off immediately. So, like, I can do that with the knowledge that that's what I'm going to do. I got into an elevator one time, and it had a glass floor.
Oh.
And I didn't really think about it until we were, like, in the elevator. We started going up, and it shocked me.
Yeah.
Like, I was kind of surprised, and that was not great. But if I can handle it fast, I am normally okay with that. Yeah. As long as you have footing and like a railing after your heights. Yeah. Well, he's much better. Arcadis is actually much better at heights because he did all the ceiling things. Good work. I appreciate it. We went down to the swing. There's like a swing chair in Orlando that you go up this thing and you're just supposed to be a scenic and romantic thing to do. And I screamed the whole time. And I mean, like, not little scream. I screamed the whole time. Like, I could have been being murdered. The whole time. I could have, and you would not have been able to tell the difference. I screamed so loud for the whole 5 minutes that I was up there.
So if you do like the Orlando Eye Ferris wheel, you wouldn't be like you would like because that's a slow one too.
Yeah,
that's like a 35-minute ride. You're on that thing.
Yeah, I would not want to do that. But if I did, I'd have to go on being pretty resilient in that I will not be getting scared.
I did that thing with my family one time. Don't do it. It's boring. It's $45. It's like $45 a person, and then you get up there and it's flat. It doesn't
look very fun.
No, because it's like if you do the London Eye, you're like, oh, Big Ben's right there. That's cool. But if you do this, it's like Disney World is like a tiny dot way over there.
Right. I can see you doing it in like Japan or like in like
mountains.
With mountains and where like the landscape is breathtaking.
Yeah, Florida has a lot of things, but we don't have. Breathtaking landscape.
And the landscape that they have is better up close. So, like, the springs are phenomenal.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
So beautiful. But it's within 15 feet of you. Like, that's great. It's not like, I mean, if you go up...
Or the beach.
If you go up, like, 30 feet, it's just marsh. So it looks worse from the further away you get.
Yeah.
But when you're up close to it, it's beautiful.
But even if that eye was next to a beach, it would be better. But it's in landlocked Orlando.
Right.
Where there's, like, you don't see the ocean at all. It was just... flat and gray.
Orlando's ugly.
Oh, it's ugly as sin.
That's an ugly city.
It is ironic that it is called the City Beautiful because it is called Orlando, the City Beautiful, and it is the same idea where it's like it's beautiful in like small sections, but don't ever look at the whole scale of it because it's piss.
I've never seen any part of Orlando that wasn't really gross.
Orlando has very nice museums and it's got a really good art scene, and Disney World.
I've only been down for Disney World and the airport.
You've been to Universal?
Universal, that.
Okay.
I mean, those in
the
group. Although I have heard that they are going to have a new Universal?
Mm-hmm. There's like a whole new world.
It's a world and a half.
Yeah, they've already added, like, because Mario's there, and I think they opened the How to Train Your Dragon. Hi, Logan.
Yeah.
We summoned him with Universal.
He figured out how to type.
How to type.
That's pretty. I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed.
Yeah, they opened like a ton of. Logan can probably tell us information about it. But they opened up a ton of stuff.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like double the size of the current one. Not double, maybe like a size and a half.
Which is good because they've needed it for like 15 years because it's just been Islands of Adventure and Universal, and then they had one little bit of Harry Potter.
That's okay. I believe in you anyways. It's okay, Logan. You're doing good work.
I'm proud of you.
Good work. I really do. I am really excited to go. I think it would be... I don't know if I want to go this year because it's too new. And I feel like there's going to be too many people
there.
So I don't know. I think... maybe next... Well, I also am going to be short on money this year because I'm planning on taking a trip to Japan.
You're going to Japan. So we're about to lose a lot of liquid going to Japan.
We're gonna need to save that up because I really... When are we gonna go to Japan otherwise?
Right.
Like, I'd better be able to do all the stuff that I want to do.
That's why I can't, because we have that little Discord. So Epic Universe is 5 new lands in one park, as big as Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom combined.
Oh, nice.
That's really sick, actually. We have the itinerary thing that we have for our Japan trip. And you were like, let me know if you want to do anything. And then everything I could think of was like out of the way. And then I was like, I want to do this stuff. But then I looked at everything on the itinerary and I was like, I also really want to do this stuff.
I
So
know,
I'm like, this is brutal. Cause
yeah.
like, it's like, I will have to do another Japan trip at some point in my life.
Okay. When we're rich and famous, we can go back. But it is I would suggest this. Not that I've gone yet, so I don't know if I can fully suggest this, because it may be a flop. It may be sucked really bad. But going through a tour group for a place where you don't know really anything about and you don't speak the language.
Yeah, the language.
So, like, how do you get a hotel room? How do you get a car? How do you do all of this stuff where, like, organizing any of that would be just a giant stress ball.
Yeah.
And now all of it is just pushed on to someone else, and they're just like, we will make sure you have a good time. Just show up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm okay with this.
Like, because I'm even thinking, because there's days where it's like they have us on tours and stuff, right? And the days, like I said, like with Tokyo, where we're just gonna walk around. I don't know how we're gonna get around. Period.
Yeah.
I truly, like, they have trains and stuff. I know, but I don't know how far they go.
You know what I'm really expecting us to look like? Yeah. Okay. So I've always thought of kilometers as basically double of mile. So if it's like 50,
I don't know anything, so I'm gonna take it as
like
fact.
56 kilometers, I'm like, it's probably around 30 miles. Is what I'm guessing. I don't know. That's just a random guess. But it's how I've always judged things. So I could have been wrong forever.
Feels right to me.
Yeah, it feels right. It feels. If I were to go to Japan and stay until I've done everything I want, I would move to Japan. And the other way. No, that's the right way. Because there's a lot more kilometers than there are miles. So there's like 50 kilometers to like 30 miles.
Kilometers are the funny little number on my speedometer I don't look at.
I know.
That's my relationship with kilometers.
I think so. Is it not? I'm pretty sure kilometers have a lot more. I mean, I don't know. I can look it up.
If you can say excuse me, please, and thank you, you can survive in Tokyo just
Arigato!
fine. Arigato!
That's all I know. I'm sure I know other things. I know that, what is it?
I'll Duolingo a little bit right before I go.
Itadakimasu? Yeah, there you go. I'm like, I don't know.
You almost got there. 1.6 kilometers is 1 mile, I think.
That's close.
That's close enough.
That was close to what I was saying. It's just off by a lot. But it was close enough that I was in the right direction.
I don't even know why you would say itadakimasu.
It's supposed to be like, it's like a thank you for the meal. I'm ready to enjoy.
Oh, okay.
It's like something you say right before you eat.
I've only seen them say it. I just like to say before they eat. I never knew what.
Yeah, it's not quite the same as saying grace, but it's like thank you for the meal, basically.
Just voicing your excitement to eat, essentially. That's nice.
Which I should do all the time.
Yeah.
Because honestly, food is my favorite thing in the world. Probably.
I'm so excited to eat in Japan.
I'm so excited.
Because I even know their 7-Elevens are good. And I'm like, I'm so curious. What's a good 7-Eleven like?
Yeah. Okay. So there are a ton of Oriental people in Hawaii. So a lot of that culture actually bleeds over to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And the 7-Elevens in Hawaii are phenomenal. They're so good. And so I wish they had that here.
Yeah.
The 7-Elevens are phenomenal.
Apparently the company that makes the Japan side of 7-Eleven fully bought out all of 7-Eleven. So the ones here are going to become it. Not like they're not gonna have Japanese food, I assume, but they will become like higher quality.
They should.
7-Eleven is literally its own bank in Japan. That's bonkers.
That's wild.
Where did 7-Eleven start? Did it start here, go to Japan? The Japan was just like, oh, we love this, and then they just kind of took it.
7-Eleven sounds like a Japanese name.
It's just it sounds like nothing to me.
7-Eleven
sounds like 7-Eleven to me. Like I don't know a world where it's not just a gas station that I didn't have.
They do have a lot of work to do if they want to upgrade all of the 7-Elevens here.
It's gonna take a lot of work.
I hope.
But let me tell you, that list of trashy gas stations I've been into, most of them are 7-Elevens.
Most of them are 7-Elevens. They are really gross. Really gross. That is why we are so excited for Buc-ee's to come into the Florida.
Yeah, really.
Or into Ocala.
Into Ocala.
Because Wawas are pretty good, racetracks are pretty good.
But Buc-ee's is just the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
That's that good stuff.
I also drive a lot. I do long road trips all the time. And Buc-ee's are never on my route.
Sad.
It's really a problem.
You gotta make them on your route.
Yeah.
They set up 7-Elevens at the military bases in Japan for the troops there. People needed money exchanges from dollars to yen, so they started doing that. Now it's a full-blown bank. That's cool. Yeah, that's the other thing is I don't know how I know they've got machines at airports that do dollars to yen, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've Venmoed friends who are in Britain, and it converts it when I do it that way.
And
so I kind of just assumed that would start happening.
And a lot of major cards, you just use your credit card. A lot of times you don't need money. It's the same in the U.S.
Do they take MasterCard in Japan? Because then I'll be fine. As long as they take MasterCard. I assume they don't take American Express. That one feels like...
it's just a bank.
That's true. Basically, I know is the difference. The price of the food is like a Big Mac meal is 800 yen or like $200. Okay, on that note, because I looked up because I was like, oh, I want to do Universal Japan because their Universal is very different than ours, and I want to see what that's like. I looked up the price of a ticket there. It's like $20. It's like $20 to get a Universal there. I was like, this is gonna radicalize me.
We should go.
For Floridians, it's like $80. And that's not including like everything. Like
where is it?
Is it outside of Osaka?
Because if it's outside of Osaka, which if it is, we want it to be outside of Osaka. That's where we end our tour. So if it is, then we could just stay an extra day.
I gotta see. I think it might. Disney, I think, was outside of Tokyo. Universal.
Can you imagine being Japanese and coming to America to go to our Universal and being like, what?
We just got the Mario place. Like theirs is way better than ours.
Well, yeah, but can you imagine them coming in and looking at the prices?
Yeah,
our prices
really
are not that, and it's much better going our way than it is coming.
It is. You guys can't see it. I'm sorry, Osaka, and it's right there.
Oh, okay, so it is right Osaka.
It's like in Osaka.
We might actually be able to stay another day and do that. That would be fun.
I mean, I would be cool with that.
That'd be cool.
Because they're the two things with them that I know is they have a lot of anime stuff. Like they have rides that switch out. Right. But then I don't know if it's still there or not, but I know years ago they had One Piece stuff there, and they had tombstones for 2 characters that died, and people would go and leave actual flowers at the tombstones that are there. And I'm like, I kind of really want to see that.
Yeah,
that's both exciting for me as a fan, but also just kind of cool and funny that they did that.
You went to go get ice cream? That's awesome.
I'm jealous.
I'm kind of jealous.
How can I use my Dogecoin in Japan? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I don't think they take that one there.
Can you imagine asking them, though? We should do that. We should just be like, so...
and in Google Translate, do you take Dogecoin?
Yeah.
Literally, the 7-Eleven International ATMs have the best exchange rate to get cash. All right, now we know. Thank you, man.
That's good to know. That is good to know. Because we will at least probably have to have some that's currency again.
If I could leave flowers for Ace, imagine. Yeah. I wasn't gonna say who died. That's one of the 2 that died. But yes, that of anyone who deserves flowers in One Piece, B deserve flowers. That's great. It's fine.
Right. Yeah. They still use cash more. Oh, they probably.
I've seen TikToks where people are like, get a coin purse, like get a little coin purse to carry your money around in.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we're gonna have to get kind of dressed up. Bring all your fancy clothes, all that shenanigans. Hopefully it's not too much so that we can fit it all into our. I don't know. It's not our problem. The tour people will figure out how we move all of our luggage. But yeah, we should say
that's a them issue.
Yeah, that's a them issue. That's when I turn American. I'm like, man, it's not my problem. Get it there.
I'm excited.
I think it'll be
I'm very excited.
It is a real weight off of my shoulder to like not be organizing all of the shenanigans, because not only is it a new place with new things and all the stuff, we also have like exclusively flight virgins that have not been out of the country, not been out of Florida.
I've been out of Florida.
Some of them maybe been on an airplane,
like once.
and I'm like, it's gonna be hard enough and stressful enough to just get people onto the taxi.
I've never flown out of the country, so
and I gotta make sure. I'm gonna have to really get on everybody about getting passports, because that is
take a while.
The most important part.
How much do they cost? You off the top of your head?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've always just renewed my passport, so.
I had one as a teen, so I think I have to get a whole new one.
Yeah. Well, no, they last a long time. They last 10 years.
I was not graduated high school at that point, so I was probably...
Still, you would just have to... I don't think you'd have to get a new one. You just have to... Well, I mean, you're going to have to get a new one. But I don't think the process is going to be as hard as you think it is. Okay. Because you originally have a passport.
I just know it takes a while to get the passport.
It does.
So,
but it's not as bad as it used to be.
Expedited. If you have proof of travel within 90 days that needs one, you can same day get one.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it used to be. It used to be way worse.
Like $150. Sick. Thank you, Nebula.
And we do have a lot of time.
My fear is always that everything that I need to do is still going to be like $700, and the price for everything will go up in my head.
Yeah.
But it's just my fear. That there's another one of my fears. Money. Just the concept of money, terrifying.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that everything costs a little bit more than you always think it's going to cost.
Or there'll be one extra thing you didn't really account for. Then that gets you there.
Right. Yeah. It will be interesting to see how much food is included with this tour. Because I'm getting varying ideas. They're like, oh yeah, and it's going to be this really cool buffet lunch at this tour group. And I'm like, does that mean we get the buffet? Or
we have to pay for it?
Is it an option?
They guarantee us breakfast, right?
I think breakfast is guaranteed. And then... I don't know. Some of the tours say it's this lunch. And I'm like, okay. Like, is that part of the tour? I don't know. I could ask them, I guess.
I am also excited to have, like, authentic Japanese sake. Again, I don't drink that much.
I'm not very excited about it.
I'm excited. I want to just try it, I'm not going to, like, drink it, but I do want to try it, say I've done it.
Well, and honestly, I'm just excited to go see the culture. Like, it's so different than the U.S. I know, like, people are like, I've heard a lot of people are like, the U.S. doesn't have a lot of culture. And we do. We really do have a lot of culture.
It's buried in here, but it's here.
Well, no, because, it's like it's just our culture. Yeah. So it's like the Southern culture. Like, the Southern hick, the Florida country hick is a real culture. That's a real culture. Like, whether or not you see it as a prestigious culture, it's up for debate. But it is its own culture.
Well, yeah, because you can see it with Sully's stuff, because she's from, like, Midwest.
Right.
So, like, she'll say something, and we'll be like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you have pizza that's on a saltine cracker?
Yeah.
Why would I want that?
Right. Yeah. So then we go like someplace like Japan, where literally everything is like it's split off so far on how they have developed as a country.
Yeah.
That just like the basic stuff that I think we would never consider. We would never consider walking while eating as being incredibly rude.
Yeah, but that's huge. Or like, we'll have to get used to carrying our trash around and stuff like that.
Yeah. So like that kind of stuff, it's just wild to see. It's just going to be really interesting.
It'll be exciting.
You can find nicer places to eat and spend actual money, but like I got an entire meal at a sit-down restaurant for, like $3. Yeah. Yep.
That's so nice.
All right.
Just imagine affording food easy.
Which is weird. You know what's weird?
Crazy.
You know what's weird? That. Because you know what doesn't have a whole lot of farmland? Japan. So like, what the heck? Why do they have so much?
Well, they've got all the. They got all the oceans surrounding them for seafood and stuff. So if I guess that's where they get it.
It's true, and I guess they do have a lot of farmland, but it's not anything compared to what we have.
Yeah.
What the heck? Why is this so much cheaper there? I need to go. Wait. Where are our economics majors around here? Like, fill me in. Because this is wild. I've never really thought about that. But, because I went to Cancun, and boy howdy, were things very expensive. But that's like the most touristy. Man, Cancun, that's totally manufactured.
Cancun is?
Cancun. They built Cancun in like 1973.
Oh.
It was built as a tourist attraction.
That's funny.
They built it specifically to be a tourist attraction to get Mexico more revenue. And they had to build a place that was safe and pretty. And that they built Cancun to be what it is today.
That's crazy. I didn't
Isn't
know
that
that.
wild?
Yeah.
I did not realize that either until I went. And
I know I know a lot of people who are older than Cancun.
Yeah. My mom went to Cancun because my mom's a crazy lady. And she's done like the weirdest. I should have a podcast with my mom because she's done the wildest thing.
Just chatting with your mom.
Yeah. She went to Cancun when it first opened because they did a big promotion trying to get
a grand opening for a city.
Yeah, trying to get American tourists there. So they went there on a cruise ship and had stayed in this one of the 7 hotels that were there. And I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
What? You were alive when this happened? I went down there. It's like hundreds of hotels.
Yeah.
How did they build that much stuff in that time?
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's so funny.
Right? It's not something you would really think of, but I don't know. They know they're Americans.
It worked.
It worked. Gosh, yeah, it really did work. Getting those all-inclusive hotels, I'll go back.
Well,
sweet.
It's about 2 hours in, so.
Yeah. I don't know. I could talk about going to Japan for probably ever.
We could just talk about our Japan trip for a week. Like, we feel like we should dedicate, like, hey guys, this is what we're going to be doing. We're not going to say when until it's done, but.
Right. Why?
But we'll tell.
Why we should plan. We should plan this out.
We should plan on Japan. The Japan trip on stream.
Yeah. That would be terrible. I would hate doing that.
Yeah.
Yep, sorry guys, you're not coming with us. But we might have like 3 pictures.
Google Maps is your friend for your at the trains. It's also good to know, Mancha, that you will
Maps,
probably be requested for help.
Yeah, Google Maps is great. And also having the international phone thing. Also great. Both of those things
International
are
phone thing?
Yeah, because your phone doesn't work internationally. So you have to pay extra to make sure you get cell reception.
Another thing?
Well, only one of us. Only a couple of us really have to do it.
That's
so
true.
I think my phone's already on it, because I got it.
I assume because it's iPhone, so like Wi-Fi gets you by on a lot of stuff.
So Wi-Fi, you can get away with a lot on Wi-Fi. It's just cellular, and a lot of times, I mean, Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi. It won't automate. Roaming is like most of the problem.
Yeah.
But we only need a couple people to have the thing, and so generally we're gonna stay together as a group. Whoever gets lost, good luck.
Godspeed to you.
Should have been paying attention.
We'll be able to find him in a crowd pretty easy.
That is very true. The only person I'm absolutely sure is gonna get lost is Colby, and he's also the easiest to find. So
we should put a little tracker on him, then he's fine. We don't even have to tell him we're putting a tracker on him.
Oh, this is what I was going to tell you. I forgot.
Oh.
About the tour thing is that I'm pretty sure we're going to be the people that are on leashes. Like, they have little, tourist things with, everybody in the tour group has a little hat with a flag on it.
What the hell?
I think that's going to be us.
I would rather die. I just want to walk. I'll stick with the group. I just want to watch. I don't want to.
I'm pretty sure. Now, I don't know this for certain. But I've seen a lot of tour things in Japan and a lot of vlogs in Japan, and there'll be a group of 15 people, and they're all wearing. Sometimes they're wearing a connecting leash between every member of the party.
We have to cut some people so we don't have to do this.
Yeah, and
some people can't make it to the trip.
Sometimes they have a little round hat, and then it has just a little flag coming straight out the top of it, and that's how they make sure that they can find all the Americans.
It's a good thing hats don't fit on my gigantic head.
Yeah.
So good luck with that, Japan.
If you do get one picture, it's probably gonna be that. So just something for Corey to look forward to.
Oh, that's
it's gonna
hilarious.
be an awesome time. I think it's gonna be great.
It'll be good. We'll fill you in more as we do it months from now.
Oh, sweet. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys.
Thanks for joining us. If you like what we do here, follow us on social media at UGT Show on everything, including banned apps like TikTok. So you
and come back next week. Next week we have a really fun show.
Yeah, we got a silly
because next week is remarkably close to Valentine's Day. So we have Valentine's Day thing planned, and I think it's gonna be really funny. I don't know if everybody's gonna think it's really funny, but I'm gonna think it's really funny.
I think it's funny. Yeah, UGT Show and everything. This Sunday, for sure this time, is the Strange Aeons finale. Also, the Super Bowl. But one's more important than the other here. So, keep that in mind. And keep that in mind.
Priorities, people.
Priorities. Strange Aeons first.
Yeah.
And then next Wednesday is the Secrets Between the Stars Season 3 premiere. So, look forward to that. Alright. I think that's everything. Join our Discord. We talk in there a lot. It's cool. It's fun. It's a good vibe.
That's true. That's true. We try not to have anything that yeah, it's a good Discord.
Yes. That's it. Hey, what else can be said about it, really? So have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Yes, we have our salutes out there. I hope everybody's ready for Valentine's next week. Is what I'm gonna say.